Hello MGTOW, hello men, this is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So, I want to offer some MGTOW advice to nice guys. And to some of you new viewers, MGTOW stands for men going their own way. Doesn't mean that they hate women, doesn't mean that they don't have sex with women. It means that they are aware of female nature and that they go their own way in life. They find their own way, they build their own way. If you're a man, go ahead and click the subscribe button. You'll be glad you did. Trust me, you'll be glad you did. Now, MGTOW advice for nice guys. Because here's the thing. I know that most of you are nice guys. And I know that most of you are suffering in a lot of pain. And I know why. And it's because you love women. You want to get together with women. And this is a source of a lot of frustration and pain for men. And I think if you guys have some insight to this dynamic, I think it would be really helpful, okay? So that's where this is coming from. Now, here's the thing. We, as men, are raised to please women. This is a gynocentric world. The needs and wants and interests of the female come first. And this is understandable from a biological point of view, why it would have worked out this way. That's where we're coming from. Also, there is a fundamental conflict conditioned into the mind of the Western civilized man. And the more intelligent that he is, the deeper that this conflict is within him, and the more trouble that it causes him. So if you're a young man and you're very confused and very frustrated by this situation, congratulations. That's what should have happened. I know, it's insane. But here's the situation. You're being taught two fundamentally different things. One of them is to be a good person, to be a nice guy, to not be selfish, to sacrifice yourself for others, to not look after your own interests, but to look after the interests of others, to be a leader, to not care about your well-being, but to be a real man and to care about leading others, and to sacrifice. It's so deep that the symbols from our religion, from Christianity, exemplify these qualities and these characteristics. And whenever the young man asserts his own interests in life, the main rejoinder that is used against him is, don't be selfish. So that's one. And this is built in, it becomes internalized. It's conditioned into the young man so early, so repetitively, that by the time he's 12 years old, you don't even have to say it anymore, okay? If he takes a larger portion of the cake or the pie or whatever for himself, he will feel shame. And the more that he pushes away from himself, the greater the sense of internal pride that he will start to feel, all right? That's one. The second aspect of this is that you have to look out for number one. You have to be competitive. You have to have resources. Now, understand that this is what the female is interested in, okay? I'm not saying anybody's bad or evil. There's nothing like that. This is biologically what the female needs. She needs resources. She needs emotional control over the male so that she can give birth. Her biology, her physiology, her looks are designed to lure the male into this behavior, entice. The male's biology is designed to entice him into this situation. And we all come from parents that this is what they did. So, on the one hand, the nice guy is taught to sacrifice himself, to not look after his own interests. It's a control mechanism. It becomes internalized. The symbols of your religion, of our religion, exemplify it. Your highest standard, your highest ideals. On the other hand, on the practical female side, and in your true interests, you have to make money. You have to acquire resources. You have to be competitive. You have to dominate in your field, or you will not gather resources, and you will not be successful. And your intentions, your being a nice guy, they won't matter because you won't have food. And so you see that these two mindsets are at odds, aren't they? You can't do both, can you? And this is a fundamental conflict that men have, that I've often had throughout life. How do you get ahead in life and still be a nice guy? If you're a good guy, a nice guy who's always fair and decent and honest with everybody, how do you get ahead? because everybody else is not operating under those restrictions. So it's a very difficult situation. Okay, so I hope you understand that dynamic. Now, consider this also, okay, in this situation that the young man is suffering in. So the man is designed to be pair bonded to the female, right? The female is not designed necessarily to be pair bonded to the male, but rather to be able to extract resources from the male and to move on to another male if she needs to for the children. But here's another aspect of it that just sidetracked me. Yes, the dynamic. The younger the man is, the harder it is, because the stronger the nice guy emotional conditioning is within him, and the stronger the instinct to get together with the female is within him, and the fewer resources he actually has, which is what the female is really interested in. He has fewer of them. So do you understand that at this younger age, with this particular emotional mindset, with this internalized conditioning of being a nice guy, with this stronger desire to get together with the female, okay? So it's like you're playing in a poker hand where everybody's, got thousands of dollars and you've only got, like $50. At this same time, the female is at the near height of her ability to entice the male into handing over his resources. And you at the younger age have the fewest resources, and you are most conditioned to serve the female, and you are conditioned, you have the fewest characteristics and abilities yet to acquire those resources. So that's the dynamic at play. And that is the MGTOW advice that I offer to you younger men. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if many of you kind of know this on an intrinsic level, internally, but having it stated explicitly allows us to no longer ignore the truth of the situation, because that's something else that we do as nice guys. We tend to ignore the truth of a situation. Check out some of my recent videos. It's a fairly complex subject, but we hide the truth of ourselves from ourselves so that we don't, there's a lot of reasons, so that we don't have to do the work, so that we don't have to look at the painful conditions that set up, the condition where we had to forget, we had to keep something hidden from ourselves, something so painful that we had to hide it from ourselves. And yet, eventually, this becomes the only way forward, is to break through that, because it controls the behavior. We refuse to look at it, and so it becomes a neurotic pattern. And it becomes, it can actually affect the well-being of the body. So you have to come to face these things, even though they're very painful. And this is one of those truths that, as a man, you have to come to face. Otherwise, you run the risk of becoming a slave to your own biology, to your own conditioning of worshiping women and wanting to fulfill, your biological urges and your instincts. And the woman is in a position to exploit this, and the society around you, the culture and the other people around you are part of that system. And if you go against that system, MGTOW, you will meet with resistance. But if you don't go against that system, you will become a slave to that system, and it can potentially destroy you. It most likely will destroy you. So this is the awareness that you need to recognize your own way, to find your own way, and to go your own way. You won't be able to be strong if you go along with a system that's designed to exploit you, even though you might acquire the resources and some advantages from that system. So what you can't be the nice guy that you are conditioned to be. You have to be the man who acquires resources and is competitive and can dominate his field. And yet you can't be an asshole that, is abusive and destructive to the people around you. That's the paradox. That's the trap that the nice guy is stuck in. And the women and the system around you are asking you and demanding of you to be that nice guy. And the nicer you are, the weaker you will become, the fewer resources you will have, and the weaker your position will be further down the road. Now, this does not mean that you're supposed to become some ruthless, amoral asshole that exploits everyone and, hurts everyone. It's more complex than that. But you can't fall into this trap of being a nice guy in a world that requires you to be a capable, competent, competitive guy. So don't fall for it. So I hope you can see what I'm talking about. I hope you can see, the trouble that it would cause you. And I hope that you're going to be able to avoid that situation. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. If you think this, information was useful, please go ahead and share. And please like, share, comment, subscribe, donate, and join me again, Howard Dare, as I plan to have more content for you. Thank you, MGTOW.